You are
There you
unmuted.
are. Well done.
Oh, beauty.
All right, we're ready to go.
Okay, all right, great. Thanks, everybody. This is the June 15th, 2022 meeting of the Southborough Zoning Board of Appeals. Pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency, signed into law on June 16th, 2021. This meeting will be conducted via remote participation. No in-person attendance by members of the public will be permitted. The meeting may be watched or may participate in the meeting remotely with a meeting link at www.southboroughtown.com/remote meetings. Okay, so the agenda for this evening is quite abbreviated. Item 1 before the board is approval of meeting minutes dated May 18th, 2022. Just so you recall, there were no hearings on May 18th. So we Kelly showed our updates of the variance and the what's the
Special
application
Permit.
Yeah, a special permit application. We had some minor tweaks to make there. That was about it. We approved meeting minutes from an earlier meeting. We did talk a little bit about Park Central and the status of it. Actually, yeah, before we get any further, let's just address the meeting minutes. Has everybody had a chance to review the meeting minutes from May 18th, 2022?
Yes.
Did anybody note anything they wanted to correct? Any objections, any typos, anything of the sort?
Yeah, I think we want to refer to accessory dwelling units as ADUs, not AUDs.
I was a little confused by that. Okay.
Otherwise,
Besides the AUD
Good catch.
converted to ADU, does anybody have anything else worth noting? Yeah, good catch, Craig. All right, so Kelly, you'll make that update?
Yes, I will.
All right, hearing no other objections, we could have a motion to approve the meeting minutes from May 18th, 2022.
as amended.
All in favor, respond with aye. Oh, yeah, sorry, as amended, sorry. Need a second. Or need
Second.
somebody to
Second.
make the motion.
So moved. Paul, you're on.
I second.
Okay, there we go. All right, all in favor, we'll do a roll call vote, respond with aye. Doris,
Aye.
Paul,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
and Craig.
Aye.
All right, Williams is aye as well, so the meeting minutes are approved. Next meeting is scheduled for July 20th, and according to Kelly, there's a couple items on the agenda.
Really?
Yeah, honestly, this is
I'm
not a
out.
drill. We don't know how
Yeah.
to respond to this, I know.
I'm out.
Okay, you'll be on a boat that day. Doris, I did want to update you on the subject that I was starting to touch on in the meeting minutes discussion regarding the status of Park Central.
Yeah.
I did reach out to Mark Purple, who said he was going to reach out to Jay Tellerman. And he said he would have them respond directly to me, but I haven't heard anything back yet. So I'll just follow up with Mark to make sure that happened, because I'm mildly surprised I haven't gotten any response at all.
Yeah, okay. Okay, that's fine.
Okay. So I know one of the ones for the next meeting is about a second sign on a single business, right? That's the item that's all settled, Kelly.
Yes.
I'm not aware of the second one that you mentioned, what it was generally.
Yeah, it's also a sign,
Okay.
but it's one that it's actually the former Wendy's property. They were granted a variance back when the Wendy's opened to have a sign on another. It's owned by the same person, but it's a different street number or whatever. And so the variance was attached to, it's typically attached to the property and stays that way. But in this case, when the ZBA wrote the decision, it said if the business is anything other than a Wendy's, it's no longer connected. So
Okay.
the current business that's going to go in will have to apply for their own variance for it.
Okay.
So I
Right.
don't know, because I think that they're still also having to meet with planning. So I don't know if they'll be ready for July, but the first sign that you mentioned is definitely on the board for July.
Right. Okay.
Are they both for the former Wendy's?
No, the other one is for, it's a business inside of the Vin Bin.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
so they're
Donut
looking,
place?
the
donut
problem
place.
is a second sign
love donuts.
on a single business. So,
Yeah. Just as a heads up, I'll need to recuse myself from both of those.
Okay.
One, the Wendy's, the former Wendy's is my landlord. And secondly, I used to work for and did the tenant improvements for the Vin Bin at their site in Southborough. So it probably would not be appropriate for me to hear
Okay.
either of those.
Okay, so maybe it's a good time to ask the question, if we have a, well, I guess we still have Jamie as an alternate.
Mm.
We don't have a second alternate, correct, Kelly? Doris,
Right.
you were appointed by this Board of Selectmen to be full-time, right, board member, correct?
Right, and I have not received any formal
Really?
notification. What's interesting though, is I was asked, bear with me, I was asked via email that I wanted to continue my terms up, and I said, yes, I absolutely want to continue. That's what I know. So yes, I'm still on, but I wasn't told directly, unless
Yeah,
I don't read my emails correctly.
My term's ending as well, and they wanted me to decide if I wanted to be on or not. I responded that I would.
Yeah,
They didn't do anything for me either.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have to come in and re-swear or anything like that. They didn't even send me a letter. I mentioned it to, I think, Lisa at town meeting. She's like,
Okay.
oh, we'll send something to you and then you'll respond and then we'll like have you do all this stuff. It's like none of it ever happened and I just got renewed.
Well,
So.
it sounded good. Okay, all right.
yeah, so I've same things. I said, yeah, sure, and I think I'm renewed, but I don't believe I got a formal anything on
Okay.
my change. So could you follow on that, Dave? I guess.
Yeah, I will. I'll have to send them something see what the status is. So if you recuse yourself, Craig, then with Jamie, we should be fine to do a hearing. I don't see a problem.
Yeah,
But it will be without Kelly, correct?
correct. It'll probably be Katie.
Okay.
But I've set everything up for her, so it's a pretty easy case. I mean, it's not anything too
Okay.
extensive, so,
Right.
yeah.
And even
it'll
without
most-
Jamie, you only need 4 for a quorum. So
Right,
the 4 of
Yeah,
you.
it's not one of those like super votes, so we'd be okay with 4.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
if it's a variance, it needs 2
It's a special permit.
special permit. Okay, then
This
yeah.
one,
it's
this
just
one's a
simple
special
majority.
permit. Yep.
Okay.
So it is one of those super votes where you need.
No, special permits, just a standard
Okay.
simple majority.
All right. Is there any other business that we should discuss this evening? Because that's all I've got.
I did make some notes on ADUs, but it doesn't have to be this meeting. It could be the next meeting. I
Okay.
read through just some definitions and consistencies.
Well, I think what we talked about is if we ended up with questions based on the definition, we wanted to bring that to the planning board for some clarification. Wasn't that the nature of it?
I think that's what we said, but it wasn't on the agenda for
Right.
tonight.
Okay.
But so I am prepared now, but maybe just move that to next month. Maybe, I don't know if I'd
Yeah.
give Kelly or something. Dave, do you want to see those thoughts I had ahead of time or just present them at next meeting?
No, I think we should, if it's going to be a discussion about a zoning bylaw and how we're seeing it or have questions about it, it should be on the agenda so that
Yeah,
people
it should
can
be on
attend
the
and
I
do it
agenda.
and
agree.
discuss
That's what
it.
I'm saying, yeah.
So we should
Absolutely
just
right.
do it next, put it onto the next meeting.
Right, that's
Right.
fine. Mhm. So we'll put it on next agenda.
Okay. All right, then,
Okay.
if we don't have anything else,
Is it my turn?
it's your turn, Paul.
Nice
I make a
vote.
motion. I make a motion to adjourn.
Seconded.
Second,
Seconded. All right, motion to adjourn has been made and seconded. We'll respond with, in favor with aye. Doris,
Aye.
Paul,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Craig,
I'm going to vote aye, but I want Paul to do that with like a pirate accent.
Arr,
and Williams is aye.
arr.
Very nice.
Have you guys noticed how good I am at adjourning though? I mean, I've really perfected it over the years.
You really have.
That's it, man.
Thank you.
It's a specialty.
Thank you.